Welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Last time we took down a whole bunch of big bad whisperers and a whisper bahamut. And today we're going to continue on and have what I'm assuming is going to be the final showdown with Mr. Sephiroth himself. So let's go. Man, stop it.
Enjoy, try me. No holding back. Anytime now. Come on.
Oh man.
Second lane. Try me.
Okay, we can't counter that. Can you stop?
Here we go. Let's do this.
There we go.
Are you dreaming of me? Shit.
Man.
Let's do this.
Quit it. Whoop. Yeah, you missed.
I see you.
Ah, you missed. There we go. Get that stagger.
It's over.
Oh, come on, man. That's so cheap.
Enjoy it. The planet will claim you.
Oh, wow. You can't block that? Hey. Oh, okay. Another platform here.
Beg for forgiveness.
Whoop. Oh, man.
I see you. Ride for me.
Okay. You can't block it, but you sure can dodge it. You know, we got mega potions. Let's use one. There we go.
Enjoy it. Anytime.
Ah.
Get ready.
Come on. Stagger, stagger, stagger. No, dude. Come on, get the stagger, get the stagger, get the stagger. Thank you. Yeah, let's do limit. Whatever.
Let's do this. Any last words?
We got to get another mega potion off too. Man, this is intense. Oh, cool. Tifa's gonna join. That's helpful.
Need some help?
Not really, but I'll take it.
Good to go?
You know it.
Take the lead.
I got this. Gotcha.
You know, let's just use a mega potion on Cloud for now.
Come on.
There we go. Can you stop, sir? Ow!
Don't overdo it.
Ah, so close.
You will be quiet. I got it. You're mine.
Oh,
No holding back. Take him down.
Seizing the opening.
okay. Nice damage, nice damage.
Enough.
Man, stop it.
Let me handle
Yeah, let's do that for now.
Really good.
It's nothing.
Let's do this. Here we go. I see you.
Oh man, let me get my Punisher mode on!
All set. No need to.
There we go.
Taking over. Beg for forgiveness.
Yeah, you missed. There we go. Come on, get the stagger, get the stagger, get the stagger. Get the stagger.
Take the lead.
Man, we really need a heal. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's a little too close for comfort there. Hey, Barrett's coming to save the day.
Barrett!
Ain't you two having fun?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, this is awesome. Cloud needs to really get a prey off.
Gonna pull back.
Guess it's my turn. You got this.
I got this.
Suck on this.
Oh crap.
My turn. Keep it
Going out
together.
like this.
Worth it. I think Akira should do it for Cloud.
It's on you.
You know what I want to do? I want to assess him. Let's see if he's got any weaknesses. Unable to read, unable to read. Weak to lightning. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Resistant to physical. Big resistance to fixed damage. Immune to poison, silence, sleep, slow, stop, and berserk, and proportional damage. And he absorbs wind. Interesting elemental. Very interesting.
I got this.
Steady.
Watch yourself.
Hang back.
Bingo. Give me your best shot.
There we go.
Still here.
Oh my god, Barrett's out of MP already? That didn't take much.
Deal with that.
All set.
Do you dream of me?
Oh, I get it. He changes his weakness. Nah, we're good, I think. Let's do,
Let me handle it. Let's go.
there we go. Let's get a Mega Potion going there. Can you stop, sir? Yeah, get an ether on yourself there, Barrett. Oh, crap. That's not good. I think Cloud might... Oh, no. Oh, no, he's almost dead.
Beg for forgiveness.
Nope. Wrong one. There we go. There we go. What do we want to do? Barrett, heal yourself. Oh, crap, we didn't block. Oh, no, you can't block that anyway. Can you stop, sir? Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Ow.
Don't look away.
Uh-oh.
It's nothing.
Oh, the memories.
Worth it.
Beg for forgiveness. Do you dream of me? Let's do
Excuse me, sir.
no more games.
Oh, come on, man. Tifa, I need you to get a Phoenix down out, like, now.
Beg for forgiveness.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. There we go. There's that stagger. Don't even care. We need to heal. Tifa, I want you to get a Cura on Barrett. And then Barrett, I want you to get a Mega Potion on Cloud, and then Cloud is going to cross-slash Sephiroth. Get wrecked, nerd. Uh-oh, that's not good at all. My God, this is intense. Ow, ow, man, you're bouncing them around like a friggin' basketball, dude. Come on, we almost got him, we almost got him. Oh my God, that's... Let's get a star shower in there.
Let me hear you wail.
Oh boy, that's...
Don't give up. Give your best shot.
Come on, man, you can't do that. So close, so close. There we go. Oh my God, we did it. Are we going for a phase 2 now? Hey, she showed up, and so did he. Good stuff. Phase 2?
We can do this. We can. We can change it. Make it right.
Man, this game has no chill.
Quickly.
Cut them ghosties down. Well, this universe had a good run. Guess we'll try again in the next one. Oh, hey, this is like the scene from the end of the original. So we're at the end of the game at the end of the first game. Except Big Man's got a shirt on this time.
Careful now.
Oh, cool, it's the music from the City of the Ancients.
Does not yet exist. Our world will become a part
That
of
is so ominous sounding. Whew.
but I will not end. Nor will I have you end.
This is...
The edge of creation. Cloud, lend me your strength.
No?
Let us defy destiny together.
never.
Uh-oh. Well, that's just a little bit epic. I thought we were going to have to actually fight him. Come on now, Cloud. Where you been hiding those disappeary warpy moves the whole game? Who do you think you are, Noctis?
Not yet.
Alright, that's one of like 10 swords you have. Pull the other ones out.
7 seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see.
Okay, that was 7 seconds.
Mr. Vice President.
Mr. President. That's right.
I am I? Oh my god, they did Palmer so dirty. He looks like such a grease ball. Yeah, get wrecked, Hojo. Just a bit of a nutbag. Oh, hey, we're back here. You did it, boy. You did it.
Wait,
Now, where you been all these years?
was that all of them? Hey, Cloud. You see that?
All those bullets, and all you got's a little scrape on your arm. Survived only to be taken out by a nuclear explosion. A nuclear explosion of ghosties. The way they have them floating around, it almost looks like those, you see those random videos of like, I don't know, like the Discovery Channel of like undersea videos where you have these giant schools of fish just kind of like fluttering in and out.
Here.
Thank you.
Oh, come on, man. There's no way you're lifting that by yourself. Those things are so damn heavy. Aw, cute. It's snowing. Ah, you made it. Found you in the rubble, did they? Must have been out for quite a while.
Marlene.
What about Jessie, though?
Daddy?
Marlene! I'll come back.
So.
Interesting.
what
So we
now?
know Wedge is alive. We know Biggs is alive. But what about Jessie?
Sephiroth. As long as he's still out there.
I thought you beat him.
No, he disappeared.
We can.
He pulled that warpy stuff that we were trying to do.
We will. Count me in.
If it's to be a hunt, you could use a nose like mine.
I'm in too. Bastard wants to destroy the whole planet, doesn't he? An enemy of hers is an enemy of Avalanche.
Uh-oh, hide your tail, pupper. That rain's gonna put your flame out. Hey there, flashback.
Almost there, Cloud.
So I'm curious to see what they do in if this is actually going to be a thing where like this is how the timeline plays out and Zack survived. I am very curious to see how they reintegrate him into the story and what changes because of that. I'm assuming the story is going to follow the same like general trajectory where like the same basic events happen, everything's just going to be super expanded on because I mean,
I miss it.
let's
The steel sky.
let's be real, they turned Midgar into an entire game. So I mean, if they can turn Midgar into an entire game, then I would imagine the next parts of this are going to be very, 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 very long and drawn out. Not in a way that's bad, but I mean drawn out. Like they're going to add a bunch of story elements to it. They're going to add. I would imagine they reintroduced Zack there, so they may try to reincorporate him somehow. Be interesting to see the dynamic of if he, because like I don't think he's going to be reincorporated in like a major way. If they do, I mean, you might get, I don't know, maybe some like flashback sequences of how things from Crisis Core are different now at points when Cloud's going through his like mental thing. I have a feeling though they might handle Zack in the next parts, assuming he's reincorporated in some way. They might handle him kind of like they did the flashback sequences in Final Fantasy VIII with Laguna. Maybe not like that in depth where you actually get to play as him, but I think you might see a little more of him. Because, like, they're not going to reintroduce Zack after having him dead at the end of Crisis Core. just to have it as kind of like a throwaway flashback to be like, oh, hey, timeline's changed, everybody survived, yippee, hooray, it was the Whispers, okay, on to the next game, you'll never see him again. It seems kind of pointless, because that's kind of, I mean, as far as like Cloud's backstory, that's kind of a big thing. That's kind of why Cloud is the way he is, because he like, after his traumatic events, he kind of like, I guess you could say he has like imposter syndrome almost, where he's like, his background as like soldier first class, he's kind of like taking on the identity of Zack without actually being Zack, because he doesn't actually know who he is. Not in a way where he's got like amnesia, but like, you know what I mean? He thinks the history that he went through throughout Crisis Core, where he was kind of in the same place as Zack towards the end, he kind of like took on his identity almost. So having Zack being that kind of influence on how Cloud is psychologically, then I think it would only stand to reason that if they did reintroduce him in a way like they're trying to here, it would seem, I think it stands to reason that we would probably end up seeing more of him in the next game, and they might expand on some of Cloud's psychiatric issues when we get to that area. But then again, I don't know if we would actually get to... That's another thing I'm actually really interested in seeing, is how they handled that flashback sequence when you get, you're going through, you're in like the Medial area and you like fall into the live stream and you're going through Cloud's mind. Definitely interested to see how they tackle that, because I think that's going to be really fun if they nail it. Like, I mean, they knocked this game out of the park, so I would assume that if they keep on track with how they handled this, they're probably going to absolutely knock it out of the park with the next one. I'm just really excited to see what changes in the main storyline as compared to the original, and how certain things are redone. Like another thing I'm extremely excited for is, well, number one, the City of the Ancients, because that was probably, like, from an atmospheric perspective, that was probably one of my absolute favorite parts of the game. It's so comfy there. Like, I would totally live there. Even if there's nobody there, totally live there. But I cannot wait to see how they handle the snowboarding segment. When you're, like, climbing up the mountain, you get to a little village at the top. What's another one? The Temple of the Ancients. I hope they go full-on dungeon mode for that. Because the Temple of the Ancients was so cool. And I have a feeling they're going to really expand on that. I hope they don't cut it short, or just have it like an in and out thing where you walk into a room, get the thing, and then come out. I hope they have that into this, like, a big long sequence, because that was like probably one of the coolest parts from the original. Not that anything like really intense happens there. It's just, it gives you a completely different feel from where you came from. Because like most of the first disc of the game, well, not most, but a big chunk of it, you're in Midgar. It's all industrial. You're running around in like buildings and stuff, fighting soldiers. And then you get out, you go to a town, you go through a cave, you go to another town, you cross the ocean, go to a town, go to a rural town in Cosmo Canyon. And then you end up in a temple somehow. So it like completely changes the feel. I mean, like, yes, you go through the cave, but the cave on the way to Junon is pretty short. Realistically, if you're thinking about it, it's only a couple screens. And I feel like it's one of the more unique dungeons in the game, because like you go through the mountain, there's the northern crater, but like the Temple of the Ancients, that is super cool. I mean, come on, man, on the world map it was like a pyramid. you just go in and you feel like, oh, this is very different from the rest of the world. This place is old. So super stoked to see how they handle that. And even like Fort Condor, that's going to be really cool. Especially if they give you like, not a completely different take, like the same feel, but slightly different expanded gameplay on the tower defense things that you do in Fort Condor. I think that's going to be really awesome. But I think the part I'm going to look forward to the most from the like a town perspective is Cosmo Canyon. Really interested to see how they handle that, and like the dungeon backstory with Red 13 in there. I mean, you could say that in general, I'm super excited to see how they handle the rest of the game as a whole, because there's so many cool parts, like the gold saucer. If they expand that and let you actually run around in it like you did in the original, and they have like the same kind of story things there, holy crap, is that going to be fun. I would envision myself spending a lot of time there just because it's such a fun place. And then the Chocobo racing segment. What else is there? The battles with the weapons. I would be interested to see how they're going to handle the submarine part. Like, because I feel like they're not going to give you a submarine and let you explore on the world map. Like, I think the world map is going to have to be slightly reduced. Like, I don't know if it's going to be open world like they did it in the original, but because like that's a lot of data to load into a map. Because like you got to load for where I think they're going. Well, where they would have to go story wise if they're doing this in 3 parts. They would have to do like at a minimum 2 continents and so much stuff. Because like you got, like realistically, they gave Midgar its own games, so we still have the rest of what would have been Disc 1 and Disc 2. And in fairness, Disc 3 wasn't really that long per se, because like you go in there, you do backtrack stuff, but it's mostly just the Northern Crater, where you make your way down the crater, do all your side questy stuff, and then fight Sephiroth at the end. So really, Disc 3 isn't... I don't know if I'd necessarily... Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, because it almost doesn't justify a 3rd disc, but I guess based on the rest of the story being jammed into 2 discs, they probably didn't have the space, so... There's that, and it's a new area, so I mean, it makes sense to put it in there. But, so we still have like most of the rest of the original story to go through. So based on that, I think the 2nd disc would, because I don't think they're going to handle the City of the Ancients differently, because if they're changing timelines now, and Zack is still alive, I have a feeling that Aerith may not have a certain interaction with a certain very long sword. Or she might, you never know. You never know, because that was kind of like a main focal point of the story, because at the end of the game, that's kind of like the whole reason for the Holy Materia to activate. So, I mean, in one way, like I can totally see them sticking to it, and then, you know, the area around Disc 1 would be the end of Aerith, essentially. But on the other hand, they've introduced the Whispers, so... I mean, you have no idea. And you know, I actually, like... I know some people are butthurt that, like, oh, they're changing the story. I wanted a remake of the original. But adding in the Whispers is... I think it was a really cool way to take the story of the original, expand on it, add things to it, and change it up not too drastically. Like, I mean, obviously, Zack living is a massive change. That has huge implications story-wise. But adding the Whispers in lets them, I think, keep the story mostly true to the original and what the fan base would expect. But at the same time, it makes it just different enough that when they do release the next part and the last part, people are going to be intrigued enough at what's going to change that I think it's going to drum up kind of a new interest from new players who might not have necessarily played the original. So I think it was a good way for them to kind of pander and do the fan service to the base that like grew up with the original, like my generation. So they still get to pander to the base and, you know, do all the fan servicey things like, oh, here's like wicked areas from the original and we've completely remade it and expanded the gameplay, and, you know, it's the same game, it's just different. And at the same time, they're going to attract a completely new audience because, I mean, it's a new game. It looks nice visually. And they might not be familiar with the story, and it'll pull them in because it's got kind of like a supernatural aspect to it now. And then back to the original base for the original game, it's going to keep them intrigued enough to actually want to play it because they're not necessarily going to know what's coming. I mean, vaguely, in a general trajectory sense, we know that at the end of the game, we're going to end up at the Northern Crater fighting Sephiroth for like the final showdown, and we're probably more than likely going to hit the key areas. Like, we're going to go through, like all the main areas on the way there. The same general plot points, but I think there's going to be enough new things and extra things mixed in that we're not going to be 100% sure what's coming and how things are going to go. Like, I have no idea if Aerith is actually going to survive the end of what would have been Disc 1. What are they going to do with Zack? Did Jessie make it? Because Biggs and Wedge did. It would be kind of weird if she was the only one who didn't. Are Tifa and Scarlet going to have their slap fight? It's just there's a lot of question marks now. Where we understand based on how they handled Midgar that yes, it's going to follow the same course. Because we ended up at the same point in Midgar. And there's the same kind of scene at the end there where you're just standing outside the city and you're like, yeah, we got to take down Sephiroth. Hoorah! And then you're going to go on from there. But we have new variables. I know it certainly piqued my interest, but I'm kind of biased because I absolutely loved the original. And even if they did a plot point for a plot point remake of the original without new story elements, like if they didn't incorporate the Whispers, they didn't reintroduce Zack, whatever, and they kept it, like if they would have kept it expanded to just Midgar as the first game, but there was none of the Whisper stuff and it just followed the exact same plot of the original, I would have been cool with that. But I have to say, as a matter of preference, I really do like this, the way they handled this as not like a direct copy. They actually went creative and added new sequences and stuff, like, you know, the parkour sequence with Tifa when you get to the Shinra building. And then the little fan service things they do for nostalgia for people who played the original, like the inclusion of that massive long staircase in the Shinra building. That was absolute gold. Gold. And I know nobody from Square is listening to this, but more of that. Where you can tell that, like, I don't think they would have included that if not for the fact that it is like a nod to where the game came from. Because, like, nothing big happens in that stair sequence, but in my mind, from what I remember playing of the game when I was younger. I don't know if iconic would be the right word, but it's just the way it was drawn out and the fact that they let you run up 60 flights of stairs. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And just the fact that they went out of their way to design an entire sequence that you can run through, and you get like the character interaction, the character building. It's just great. So much nostalgia there. But overall, I mean, the way they handled this was awesome. Because, I mean, I know I've probably said it a million times. They stuck true to the original, mostly. And they just... It's kind of like... So when I was younger, I wrote a whole bunch of music when I was 14, 15 years old. And I kind of just let it sit there in my Guitar Pro files and never really did anything with it. And I started recording seriously to release actual albums and stuff in 2022. Cool! Chapter selection has now been unlocked. Open the main menu and access system chapter selection to replay any chapter from the beginning using your current character's weapons and materia. This is a great way to tackle uncompleted quests, find story elements you missed the first time through, and more thoroughly experience Midgar. Cool! Hard difficulty is now unlocked and can be selected by going to the chapter selection and playing one of the chapters. In this difficulty, items cannot be used and only HP is restored at rest spots. However, certain manuscripts are only available in this difficulty setting. So I guess that means we have to play through hard mode. A record of your adventure can be viewed from System Play Log in the main menu. The log contains information from battle records to story branches. Ooh, bonus experience in AP. You will now earn twice as much experience and 3 times as much AP. New combat simulator. A new combat simulator has become accessible from Hojo's lab. To test it out, select Chapter 17 from chapter selection. Skipping the bike minigame. The bike minigame can now be skipped from the pause menu. Oh! You now have access to a portion of the story that revolves around a new character, Mrs. Wutai herself. To access this content, press the right trigger while on the title menu. Okay, so that's it for those updates. But, so like I was saying, they kind of handled this in the same way that I handled all my music back from when I was younger. So I had all these guitar profiles sitting there that I wrote literally almost 20 years ago. And they were just sitting there, and I started recording music. I released my first entirely original album. I play metal, so I learned, I've been playing guitar for about 20 years almost. I think it's a little more than 20 years. No, I think it's 20 years exactly. Yeah, 20 years exactly. And then so I taught myself bass. I taught myself how to play keyboards. I don't know a drum kit though, but either way, then I taught myself, well, not taught myself, I figured out how to do metal vocals. And I've been taking some of my older stuff that I wrote 20 years ago, coming up on 20 years ago, and I've been adding to it and expanding on it. So it's still the same kind of atmosphere and stuff as the original stuff that I had wrote, but I'm adding new parts to it to make it still the same, so I know where it came from. I recognize the roots of being a self-taught musician, I guess. I don't know if I'd go that far to call myself that, but you kind of keep true to the original to acknowledge the roots of where it came from, and you add the extras to it to give a sense of kind of what you've learned over the span of the time from when you wrote it to now. So you acknowledge where it came from and you expand upon it to make it kind of better based on what you know and what you've learned and what you've figured out and the experiences you've had. So I feel like that's kind of how they handled this, which is really cool. They took the original, they acknowledged where it came from with all the little nods they put in there, the stair sequence in the Shinra building and the bike sequence at the end. All the cool little things that they did in this that are just a nod to the original. And they expanded on it. Like they added new story elements. They added a new twist to the timeline. So I guess you could say that the original is still canon, and that these whispers are kind of like generating multiple timelines. So the timeline where Zack isn't alive probably still exists and is probably still canon, but this could be like a divergent secondary timeline that runs parallel to that, where you end up at the same point. It's just a different way of getting there. Kind of like, I don't know if anybody's played Radiant Historia on the DS, but I feel like they're kind of handling it like that, where you have the ability to go through multiple timelines to see different events, but still end up kind of in a roundabout way at the same point, if that makes sense. So in that sense, they're not entirely changing the story. They're acknowledging that the original story is still true. It still happened. It's just, this could be like a parallel timeline that goes along with it. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the actual explanation. If like the developer came out, or like the people who are behind the story actually came out and gave a definitive explanation of what's going on. If that's the case or not. I definitely haven't looked that deep into it, but on the surface level, that's what it seems like. So this is kind of like just a secondary explanation of how the events could have gone, while acknowledging that they both exist separately in the same universe, and we're going to end up probably roughly at the same ending sequence. It's just certain people might have survived, certain people might not, which I think is really cool, because it gives you the opportunity to experience the story from a different angle without rewriting the official way that the history of it happens. So if you're a huge fan of the lore of the original, then technically you can just say, okay, in my mind, that's the way it went. That's my favorite one. So I like this timeline better, and it's my favorite. Where some people who are new to it or like the expansion of it, like personally, I fall into the other camp where I like the stuff that they're adding to it. I think it's super cool. So you can acknowledge that, yes, the other timeline exists, but this one might be my favorite because of the way it plays out, because I might have a favorite character that survives, or I like the inclusion of the whispers, or whatever. I like that Zack came back, whatever. I don't know. Pick your poison. But so I think what we're going to do, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm at a kind of a crossroads, because I kind of want to go and do the new content, what is it, intermission? I don't know. I kind of want to do that to see how that story plays out, but at the same time, I kind of want to tinker around with hard mode and see what we missed. And since it's still fresh, I think it might be in our best interest to go back and play through some of the stuff on hard mode, because I know there's the optional super boss that has something to do with the battle simulator in chapter 17, and I think that's exclusive to hard mode. So I think we might have to go through. And then there's that one battle intel that we didn't finish, and now that we're going to get 3 times AP, I'm almost convinced that I need to go through and start kind of like I don't know yet. I haven't looked if we have a new game plus option where you carry all of your levels and equipment and materia and stuff forward into a new game. Because I would be interested in playing through the game again on hard mode, kind of in a condensed way. Just to go through and grind out I think that would be the more effective way to grind out the materia levels and the character levels and the weapon levels and stuff, rather than just going and grinding the battle simulator. And then we'd see if maybe there might be stuff along the way that we missed. I don't know. I think we'll in between this and next time, I'll figure out what we want to do. I think though we might just see if we can start up a new game plus on hard mode and go through that way, and I'll just kind of like skim through it pretty quickly, because if the side quests stay completed, if that carries over, then we don't have to worry about them, and we can just play through like the main story events on hard mode to see what got harder, what's different, see how the dynamic of only having HP restored at the benches and not being able to use items, see how that plays into it. Because, I mean, we used a ton of items throughout in battle, so that could be interesting. But either way, I think we're going to wrap this video here. And hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough so far. And next time, we'll figure out what we're going to do. I guess you'll see the next video pop up. And I'm definitely leaning towards like a new game plus hard mode. I think. I don't know. We'll figure that out next or before next time and then pick up from there. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like these, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And until next time, thanks for watching.